We will now have the Landline Ceremony, and ladies and gentlemen, to do the honors, we have an esteemed gathering among us. May I please request the following delegates to join for the Landline Ceremony. His Excellency Professor Lisa Flor Hundersens, Vice Deans for Research, Faculty of Engineering and Sciences, Western Norway University of Applied Sciences, to take the lead and like the first speak.
Professor Eugen Freiter, Professor Vice Dean for Research and Innovation, Faculty of Mathematics and Natural Sciences, University of Bergen.
Professor Sivakalita Saknabraya, Vice Chancellor, University of Jaffna, a warm welcome.
Professor Dylan Veloidapule, Coordinator, NORPART Project, Western Norway, University of Applied Sciences.
We are cordially inviting Professor Kannadasan on behalf of the Deans.
On behalf of the heads, I would like to invite one of the representatives.
Professor P. Rabarajan, Coordinator, University of Bergen.
Thank you very much for lighting up today's event with positivity and motivation.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming up next, we have a feast of our eyes and ears, because our dancers are ready to rock with our magnificent beast of Sri Lanka. Let's put our hands together in welcoming the dancers from Ramanathan Academy of University of Jaffna.
Yeah. journey started when the University of Jaffna held its hands with the Western Norway University of Applied Sciences (HVL) under the Norwegian Partnership Programme for Global Academic Cooperation NORPART project. The main objective of the project is to strengthen the collaboration between the partner institutions that include Western Norway University of Applied Sciences, Universities of Agder and Bergen, Norway, Coimbatore Institute of Technology, India, and the University of Bergen in educational and research activities and implement student and staff mobility within the field of clean energy technologies. These are funded by the Royal Norwegian Embassy is to strengthen the existing collaboration between the partner institutions in the field of nanomaterials for clean energy technologies. In March 2017, a high-level delegation from the Western Norway University of Applied Sciences, including the rector of HVL, visited the University of Jaffna and witnessed the hard work of Professors Dayalan Velayuthapillai from HVL and Punyamurthy Ravirajan from University of Jaffna led to a collaborative project on higher education and research collaboration on nanomaterials for clean energy technology and signed a MOU and collaborative agreement with the University of Jaffna. July 2017, the project coordinators signed an institutional technical assistant contract on capacity building and establishment of a research consortium in nanomaterials for clean energy technologies in relation to the NORPART project at the Royal Norwegian Embassy, Colombo, in the presence of the Norwegian ambassador. University of Jaffna and the Western Norway University of Applied Sciences jointly developed the curriculum for the master's degree program in clean energy technologies under the Hrncet and CBERC projects. This was the first of its kind in Sri Lanka and was approved by the Quality Assurance Council of the UGC. The Vice Chancellor of the University of Jaffna and the Ambassador of Norwegian Embassy in Colombo inaugurated the Master of Clean Energy Technologies program in collaboration with the Western Norway University of Applied Sciences on 19th of September 2020. 16 students, including 15 from Sri Lanka and 1 from Norway, enrolled for the degree program. Yes, the May 11th, 2018 was the day when a big milestone in the history of NORPART project was achieved. A new clean energy research laboratory, CERL, officially opened by the Honorable Norwegian Ambassador and Rector of Western Norway University of Applied Sciences. In May 2018, establishment of Norway-Sri Lanka Research Consortium on Clean Energy Technologies was held in Jetwing Hotel, Colombo. A record-breaking big delegation of 30 academics and representatives from private sector from Norway and Sri Lanka attended this event. The main objective of this seminar are to establish an arena to present the Norwegian and Sri Lankan private sector working on clean energy technologies such as solar, wind and hydrogen to facilitate a meeting place for the academia and private sector in the field of clean energy technologies from both countries that would lead to an establishment of sustainable research consortium to obtain in-depth knowledge on the energy regulative measures and policies in Sri Lanka to facilitate and motivate the private sector and universities from Norway and Sri Lanka to initiate future partnership, including joint ventures. The Norwegian delegation visited the Faculty of Engineering, University of Jaffna in Kilinochchi and participated in a seminar in clean energy. In December 2017, an international symposium was arranged in India under the NORPART project. Both students and staff from HVL, University of Bergen, University of Bergen, University of Jaffna and University of Bergen were involved in this symposium and meetings along with our partners from CIT. 8 academics from universities of Jaffna, Bergen and Eastern were actively participated by presenting papers at the symposium under this project. Hrncet 2019, an international conference on advanced materials for clean energy and health, was jointly organized by the University of Jaffna and Western Norway University of Applied Sciences in February 2019. This is another milestone of NORPART project.
Last year, we opened the Clean Energy Research Laboratory here on campus, and we launched the Master Degree Program in Clean Energy Technologies.
A record-breaking delegation of academics and the people from several private sectors was participated in this conference. Notably, more than 120 foreign delegates attended in this conference and 2 MOUs were signed.
So thank you, and again I thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity to be here.
We are very thankful to the organizers of the committee to put up this array of people.
To all of the organizers for giving me the conference is very impressive and it's a complete success because of the contributions mainly from this group, remarkable organizers. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers, especially Professor Darwin and Professor Nagaraj.
This conference was well commended from all over the world. With the commencement of Hrncet NORPART project, staff and students of the project from the University of Jaffna, University of Bergen and the National Institute of Fundamental Studies, Sri Lanka, have been mobilized to undertake their research work and research stays at the Western Norway University of Applied Sciences.
Huge opportunity to come here and continue my studies for 6 months under NORPART project, and it is helpful to improve my works effectively.
These research exchange programs have been instrumental in capacitating staff, students, and the research institution on both ends. Similarly, students from HVL had short visits and their research stay at the University of Jaffna. Under this program, an educational training on clean energy technologies to the GCEAL students in the science and technology streams in the Jaffna district was carried out by the Jaffna Science Association and Provincial Department of Education Northern Province in collaboration with the University of Jaffna and Western Norway University of Applied Sciences in March 2018. More than 2,600 school students from 56 schools in the Jaffna district benefited from this program. Number of outreach activities were arranged in Bergen, Norway under this project to inspire the school children in Bergen on emerging clean energy technologies, where the research students from University of Jaffna actively contributed. All these activities received public attention through media coverage. Similar awareness program was also arranged in the eastern province of Sri Lanka to promote clean energy technologies among the school students. More than 300 students from 17 educational zones of 3 districts in eastern province of Sri Lanka benefited from the clean energy workshop organized under the project at the eastern and southeastern universities. Under the project, the research activities were disseminated at several public events, including at 2 Silfasena Exposition 2019 events in Colombo and Polonnaruwa, Sri Lanka. As a part of outreach activity, and to strengthen and attract more students to the STEM field, the Faculty of Science, University of Jaffna organized the event Science Education for Bright Future in March 2020. The event was partially funded by the CBERC project.
I'm a PhD student from Norway, doing a research stay here now for 3 months in Jaffna. I was lucky enough to be a part of this exhibition you're having for school children.
The event focused on the practical aspects of the Sri Lankan science curriculum from grade 6 to 11 through exhibition, experimentation, discussions and explanations in the fields of biology, zoology, chemistry, physics and computer science. Nearly 30,000 students from different schools in the northern province participated. The members of the Clean Energy Research Group actively engaged and contributed towards the success of this exhibition by displaying various clean energy demonstration kits. Solar eclipse, another outreach activity jointly conducted by the University of Jaffna and University of Colombo. This activity was funded by the Norwegian Embassy of Colombo and Ministry of Higher Education, Technology and Innovation. Over 4,000 participants actively participated in this event.
கிட்டத்தட்ட 3000க்கு மேற்பட்ட மக்கள் இங்கு இந்த சூரிய கிரகணத்தை பார்த்தார்கள்.
It should be noted that a variety of participants from kids to elders enjoyed this precious event. Research students under the projects published more than 70 research publications, in which 22 articles are published in scientific indexed expanded journals. Notably, one special issue related to the International Conference UMSICA 2019 was published in Elsewhere Journal, and this was the first of this kind published at the University of Jaffna. Several industries visited HVL to see the ongoing research, and under this project, we have also signed an MOU with the Norwegian Gexcon company. Sri Lanka's first floating solar plant was declared opened on January 24, 2020 by the Norwegian ambassador to Sri Lanka at the Kilinochchi premises of the University of Jaffna. The first floating system is established as an experimental plant in the pond with a depth of about 2 meters. The floating solar plant, installed under the Capacity Building and Establishment of Research Consortium project, is a result of the research collaboration since 2017 between the University of Jaffna and Western Norway University of Applied Science, supported by the Royal Norwegian Embassy in Colombo. This journey is possible so far with all these partner institutions, along with the funding and support of Norwegian Embassy Colombo and Norwegian Directorate for Higher Education and Skills. Though the journey has passed some milestones, there are more to come, and thus the journey still goes on. Thank you.
To enrich the moments further, I would like to invite Professor Pete Ravarajan, Coordinator, University of Jaffna, to share his thoughts with us.
On behalf of the Vice Chancellor and the University of Jaffna, I warmly welcome the Norwegian delegates, headed by Professor Glam and Professor Lisa, Vice Dean for Research, Faculty of Engineering, Western Norway University of Applied Sciences, and Professor Oyvind, Vice Dean for Research and Innovation, Faculty of Mathematics and Natural Science, University of Bergen. I think this is a third visit here. And then our advisors, the international students advisors, Catherine and Maria, and the research students, Fatima, Vrindavan, Avadi, and other industrial partners. So on behalf of the university, I warmly welcome you all. And I would like to, on behalf of the project, actually I would like to welcome our Vice Chancellor, Deans, and former Vice Chancellors, heads of the department, colleagues, and my dear students. It is my great pleasure to say a few words about the project which is ended, which we have been conducted for more than 5 years. So we in fact actually signed an MOU in March 2017. Professor Vasanthi Hrncet was the Vice Chancellor, and then after that there were 3 Vice Chancellors assisted us, Professor Vignesaran, and then my teacher, Professor Kansavisa, and then now Professor Sirisakura. So almost 4 Vice Chancellors have been actually witnessed this our event, and I think because we documented all of them, so you can actually see in the video. So as the university, it has several roles. Most important role is teaching, we know that. However, it should also generate knowledge. And to generate knowledge, in fact, actually, we should do research, and that should be up to the world-class level. So we are really fortunate that we actually found a good partner, and in fact, we all should appreciate Professor Garland. He is instrumental in writing this project, and also that project actually delivered in almost all the area, curriculum development, and also postgraduate studies, and then research, and then published more than 70 publications, in which more than 222 publications in Science Citation Index Journal, And also we established a well-equipped laboratory because the Ministry of Higher Education, in fact, very pleased that actually we got this grant, and also we actually running very well, and then so in the middle actually they actually funded to establish some lab, and Norwegian embassy, upgraded the laboratory with the high-end equipment. So the XRD and also solar simulator, several other well-equipped equipment. So then the other thing is actually more than important is actually the university should contribute to the society. So we actually focused on two areas. One is outreach activities, so they educate our young children, go towards clean energy. So nowadays actually people have been talk more on this clean energy aspect, and you know the country situation. And especially actually the country is suffering from this producing the energy. So that we have the free energy, and also so that you can see that because how the Ireland actually masterminded this project, and we are actually pretty pleased. Actually, we got a young energetic academic team, so they actually worked hard on these outreach activities. So more than 5,000 students benefited from this. So we actually conducted all the program north and east, and more than that, and we established, or maybe we installed. In fact, the project actually instrumental in installing this, the first floating solar panel at the village premises, which has now been very much attracted by the national policymakers, and then they are going to actually duplicate several floating solar panels in everything. And all these actually is possible due to the great support from both institutional heads and also their administrators, especially these administrators, the financial administrators, PERSA and other people also really helped us to execute this up to this level. So this is now the first phase is almost completed. So now the Hrncet second version is there. So it's 2. And from Darren, my coordinator, the co-coordinator, will brief you about what we are going to do there. And more than that, actually, is everybody is in fact actually asking the contribution to the people, and then we are actually ready. And then so because as we are actually from the science faculty, most of the group members are from the science faculty. We usually actually study the fundamental studies. We now focus on this not only with the solar cells, but also with the wind energy and also hydrogen energy. There are several discussions going on. We are now strongly collaborating with the engineering faculties, and also the technical faculty will also come in. And then we hope that because the next phase will be very different, and we will actually have good progress during the next 6 years. Once again, I warmly welcome you all, and also I really appreciate that you actually find the time to witness this great event. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your early words and memories, sir.
To increase the gain of our audience, I humbly call upon Professor Dylan Wellide, Coordinator, Western Norway, University of Applied Sciences.
Vanakkam. First of all, dear Her Excellency the Ambassador, she was unable to come directly because of the current situation in Sri Lanka. Dear Vice Chancellor, you have been with us the whole journey from start. So, and my fellow deans here and my colleagues from Norway and students, yes, it's a great pleasure to be here back again. But now, as Ravi mentioned, Hrncet 2.0. So, as you all know, that there is an energy crisis. The researchers have been talking about energy crisis and energy demand for the past 10 years. but nobody was listening to them. Very few were listening to them. One is climatic change, of course, that is an important thing, and you need renewability, that is one thing. The other thing, of course, we need energy. That is important. We see in Sri Lanka now. So there's a growing population and there's a growing middle class. So we need energy, and because of the climatic changes and it is not enough with fossil, then we must work on renewables. So renewables is a field. As you all know, currently there are 10 million jobs. There are a lot of youngsters here, 10 million jobs in renewables. It is going to be 40 million by 2030. So that is the area we are going to work on. Not only energy production, energy distribution, energy management, energy economy, first of all, energy policies. So these are the things we have to work on. So our projects will focus on these things in the coming 5 years. First of all, I would like to thank Norwegian Directorate for Higher Education and Skills, formerly known as DQ, formerly known as CU, and dearly our Norwegian Embassy. We have got the moral support and the financial support from them. That was very, very crucial. As Ravi pointed out, we have achieved a lot. We have seen the documentary, so I don't want to go into detail. But I think the next stage is realization. Research, of course, we have been doing for some time. Now we have to come up with some prototypes. So we'll work on prototypes. I don't know whether you are informed. We are trying to apply for a patent on a new concept on energy storage. That is one thing we are working on. And we would like to work on small prototypes in the new project with the support of the industry. We have the industry with us now. We will try to focus on floating solar. That is one thing. I was having a small chat with VC today. I hope that we can expand the floating solar structure in Kilinochchi as soon as possible. The current solar, the private sector, they are with us. So we will have a negotiation or we'll have discussions tomorrow in Kilinochchi. And the other thing, of course, hydrogen. When we had a delegation to Sri Lanka 4 years back, we were 32 persons, and we submitted a proposal on hydrogen 4 years back to the finance minister, then finance minister. But nothing happened. But now, Greenstat has signed an MOU with the government of Sri Lanka to work on hydrogen. So in that sense, hydrogen is coming. But who is working with hydrogen in Sri Lanka? University of Jaffna, and the research group is working on hydrogen, photocatalytic hydrogen production, and with Indian support, we have been, and in HUL, we are working on solar energy-based hydrogen. I think that is the future for Sri Lanka as well. So hydrogen, we had to focus on it. We had to focus on wind. So there are possibilities that we could work on wind. We have been to the windmill in Mannar yesterday. So I hope that we could have some collaborations. We had a clean energy seminar with business people just 2 days back, organized by the Embassy and HUL and University of Jaffna. And there we met a few business people who are interested in investing in wind energy here in Jaffna area. So that is the way to go. And we have to produce prototypes. So these are the things we are going to work on. Another thing, we have already accomplished the first master program here in Sri Lanka on clean energy technologies. So the next step, it will be for 2 years maybe. So that is the next step. We have to have a new group as well. But we would like to have PhDs from Sri Lanka educated in our university. So my friend Professor Oyvind Fredde is the Vice Dean of Innovation Research and Innovation at University of Bergen. He is here, so we are going to sign a new MOU with University of Jaffna to have your students in Norway, but the important thing, the PhD degree will be given by University of Bergen in Norway. So that is the important thing. So that is the next step. So we are going to revise the existing curricula in the master degree program. and we are going to have PhD program. And another thing, we are going to have at least nine master students for 2 years. They are going to take the complete master program in Norway. So I think we have already taken 2 students. We had interviews and so forth, and the selection was made, and now university has selected 2 people. So these 2 students will be taking their masters at University of Bergen from August. So completely will be there, for 2 years. So we are going to continue with that in the next 5 years, next 5 to 6 years. So these are the planned things. So I hope that the next step, as I said, we have to go with the industry. We have started coordinating, and we have some collaborating partners from industry as well, from Jaffna and this area. I don't know whether they are here. So I would like to talk to them and make some, new projects which would be beneficial for the society. So that's the next thing. So looking forward to working with you all, and I would like to thank my colleagues. It's very difficult times in Sri Lanka. I was a bit scared to take them to Jaffna and to Sri Lanka because of the current situation. Our rector was contacting, and vice rector was contacting our advisors. It is safe? Also, and long journeys. Yesterday we had a journey of 12.5 hours in this warm weather. So thank you, my colleagues. You are very patient, and we need you for the next 3 days. Be patient for the next 3 days as well. Okay, thank you everyone. Looking forward to working with you all. Thank you.
That was great to hear from you, sir. Due to the prevailing situation in the country, our chief guest, Her Excellency Sri Jarali Eskidal, Ambassador, Royal Norwegian Embassy in Colombo, is unable to join us physically today. However, the digitalized world is in the palm of our hands. Let's welcome our chief guest via Zoom.
Dear Vice Chancellor, University of Jaffna, dear Pro-Rector, Western Norway University, dear Dean, Faculty of Science, University of Jaffna, dear Professors, distinguished delegation from Norway and Sri Lanka, students, ladies and gentlemen, Vanakkam, good morning to you all. I'm very pleased to be here at this inaugural ceremony today. Unfortunately, I have to do it online, as the current situation again is preventing me from attending in person. I hope you will excuse me for that. First of all, let me congratulate all the students who are undertaking their Masters of Science program in Clean Energy Technology. You are supporting Sri Lanka's path towards a green transition. Secondly, I would like to congratulate both the HVL and the University of Jaffna for securing an extended partnership with NORPART. Congratulations. The Norwegian Embassy in Colombo has been supporting the university cooperation between Western Norway University and University of Jaffna in the first phase, where both institutions have taken a lead role in promoting research into clean energy technology and promoting innovation into the sector. The government of Norway is very pleased to support this university cooperation because we believe research cooperation is fruitful both for our own country and for Sri Lanka. Norway strongly believes that research and investments into clean energy will reduce poverty, improve health, and help to mitigate the climate changes in the long run. Norway also thinks that the involvement of the private sector is crucial for accelerating clean and sustainable energy-related research and production. While enhancing the capacity of research consortium on renewable energy, this university cooperation also enabled remarkable outcomes that we believe will have a lasting impact. The launch of the first ever master's program in clean energy technology and producing skilled graduates, the installation of the floating solar facility at the university, and bringing in the private sector support are some of the key achievements. The current energy crisis in Sri Lanka may be the needed opening to make lasting change in Sri Lanka's journey towards a low-carbon future. The authorities have already set a long-term target for renewable energy generation. I am hopeful that the research findings and that the key initiatives of this project will contribute towards making a lasting change in the sector. I'm also very pleased about the role of the Norwegian Partnership Programme for Global Academic Cooperation, NORPART, which has supported this university cooperation programme. We are very excited to see the outcomes of the upcoming 5-year programme. This partnership is essential for strengthening the quality of higher education in Sri Lanka. It positively contributes to the labour market requirements of many sectors, and in particular the needs of the renewable energy field. In addition, the programme also will involve private sector stakeholders, highlighting the private sector's growing interest in Sri Lanka's renewable energy potential. Once again, I take this opportunity to congratulate students and partners gathered here today, and I wish you all success in your new partnership. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, on this note, we would like to call on the following delegates to grace at the get level. Professor Lise Björk Hrncet, Vice Dean for Research, Faculty of Engineering and Sciences, Western Norway University of Applied Sciences.
Professor Hrncet, Professor Vice Dean for Research and Innovation, Faculty of Mathematics and Natural Science, University of Bergen.
Professor Sivakalandri Sarkaraya, Vice Chancellor, University of Jaffna.
Professor Landline Ceremony, Coordinator, Western Norway University.
Professor A. Atpazraya.
Professor P. Ragarajan, Coordinator, University of Jaffna.
So we are enriched with technology. Still, there is no better way of recording data than books. This is
To perform the honor of releasing the booklet about the project journey, Professor P. Ragarajan and Professor Landline Ceremony will be presenting the book to Vice Chancellor Professor A. Sri Sakuraraja, Professor Lise Björk Gundersen, and Professor Hrncet.
Thank you for our memorable event.
Books do carry great wisdom and enlightenment, but experience comes from practical approach. I am indeed an esteemed in calling upon Ms. Sivagauri to give her experience in this magnificent project journey.
Good morning all. I am Sivagauri, MPhil student under this NORPART project. Here I am going to share my experience and knowledge getting the student mobility at HVL. During this stay is more than 23 months in HVL during this project, and also I get more experience in working in different sophisticated instruments and handling different instruments, and also I get different environmental exposure in the Western Norway University of Applied Sciences. And also, you can see these pictures was taken in Bergen, and also this is the outside view of the university. And here these two pictures were taken the research students, those who are working under this project under the supervision of Professor Landline. And first of all, I would like to thank my supervisors and the project coordinators who are giving us to this huge opportunity to doing this AFIL program under this project. And also these are some pictures inside the University of Western Norway Applied Sciences, and this is the inside view of library. These are taking our mobility stay, and also we are working in chemical research laboratory. These instruments are available in HBL, and also those are used to characterize different nanomaterials and were used different applications. These pictures were taken. We are working in different sophisticated instruments. These are some lab visits. We have showcased our research outputs to some delegates from different industries, and also from this we got more knowledge because of they are asking some questions, different aspects, and also we gain more experience with work with different industries. In addition to this, our research work, they are conducting seminar and workshops in different environments and different industries, and we are a part of different research team program in Bergen and also different schools. Our Antioch group conducted different workshops and awareness program in school children. We have showcased our research outputs and different application kits to the students. They have got the knowledge from our showcase research outputs. These are some pictures about our celebration and enjoyment in the HVL. And also there are different seasons in Bergen, spring, autumn and winter. We never miss to enjoy all the seasons. And also apart from our research time, we did not enjoy our leisure time. And also these some events we have participated in international days, and some games are those I want to thank you one half of our friends to help us to show those things to us. Finally, I would like to thank my supervisors and coordinators to giving huge opportunity to doing my MPhil program and these kind of visits. Especially, I would like to thank Professor Landline to giving this huge opportunity and Norwegian Embassy and CBRC Hrncet project the funding. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your experience sharing. Now, I would like to invite Dr. K. Agilan from Faculty of Engineering to present our first master's degree program on clean energy technologies.
Good morning, everyone. So we have started the batch 1 of the Master of Clean Energy program in September 2020. I will brief the progress of where are we at now. So that the curriculum was developed by University of Jaffna and Western Norway University of Applied Science, and it was approved by the Quality Assurance Council of the UGC in 2019. And so we have enrolled 15 master students, 15 Sri Lankan students and 1 Norwegian student. So So in addition to their basic qualifications, so BSc in physics or chemistry or BSc in engineering, so we have done the placement exam and as well as the interview and selected. And so the Master of Clean Energy program was inaugurated on 19 September and we have started the class on the 10th. So if we look at the semester 1, so we started 19 September and ended in the 6th of February. So there are 6 courses. So even though each courses are 3 credit courses or some are 2 credit, so each subsection is taught by the specialized person. So if you look at the essential science for the energy technology, so in addition to the Jaffna University lecturers, so there are some lecturers from the USA as well as Industry Sustainable Energy Authority. So they have taken the lectures. And for the wind energy technology, so everyone, most of them are from the University of Jaffna and industry person also took the lecture. Okay. Other one is instrumentation and characterization. So lecturers from the Indian University also part of taking the lectures and in addition to the University of Jaffna. So other one the solar energy technology. So the basic part was covered by the Indian University lecturers and some of the lectures were conducted by Professor Ravirajan and Professor Dayala, and nanotechnology part was covered by the Professor Glam from the University of Bergen. So some electrical part was conducted by Professor Logendran from Washington State University. And fifth one, the hydrogen energy technology. So all of them are conducted by the Professor Vignarogan and Professor Sassi. So, and we also conducted the exam and we moved to the semester 2. So it was held between the April and July. So again, so we have 7 subjects. So first one is the energy storage. So it was conducted by Professor Vignarogan and Professor Kannan from USA. And marine and hydro energy technology. So marine technologies was covered by the Professor Gunamatra from University of Bergen, and hydro energy technology was covered by Professor Adler. And if you look at the bioenergy technology, so Professor Dr. Kirisen and Professor Vigneswaran and Professor Vasanthi Harasurka and Dr. Mahinsa Ratnayaka from University of Moratwa took the lecture. If you take the grid integration, so all the lectures were conducted by Professor Logendran from USA. And if you took the project development management, so it was totally looked by the industry people. So Dr. Siamalaputi and Dr. Amila and Engineer Sweda from Resource Management Association. So other one is the industrial training. So industrial lectures were conducted by CEV and Windforce, and students visited the Manna Wind Farm and Bornea Solar Plant, and they can submit the report as well. The last one is a group project. So as we know that all the students are from the different background. So some are interested in solar fabrication, and some mechanical engineering projects. They took the wind turbine design, and other one is the tidal energy, and some electrical engineering background students. They took the some solar projects are maintaining the grid voltage. Other one analyze the solar tracking and some of the projects. And so we have already done the mid-year evaluation in January, and they were supposed to submit a dissertation by this month 15th. So we took our progress. So Master of Clean Energy Technology is a 1-year coursework, so it covers the 30 credit. Suppose if they completed all first 2 semesters successfully, so they are eligible for the Master of Clean Energy Technology. But if they want to continue, so they can continue the second year. So as they have completed 30 credit, so they have to complete another 10 credit and 20 credit thesis. So once they complete, they can move to the Master of Science in Clean Energy Technology, so that they can decide whether they want to continue second year or not. And as we are approaching, we are finishing the batch 1 of the first year. So we are looking to hold the application of the batch 2 as well. Thank you.
Thank you for your excellent words and presentation, sir.
When people say there were only 8 directions, scientists disagree. We are about to look at the presentation of 9th direction. I would like to invite Professor A. Akidaraja for his presentation on the first floating plant, solar plant in Sri Lanka.
Her Excellency, delegates from Norway, University of Bergen and Western Norwegian University of Applied Sciences, Professor Glam, father of this collaboration, Professor Abhirajan, Vice Chancellor, former Vice Chancellors, heads of the department and deans and heads of the department and lecturers, administrative staff and students. It's a very great pleasure for me to do the presentation on floating solar, which was headed by Dr. M.K. Agilan and his team. I am one of the team members. So, this floating solar was established in 2020 January as a pilot project to demonstrate the floating solar technology as the first time in Sri Lanka to the policymakers and engineers and researchers. So accordingly, it has been demonstrated. For example, the Hrncet 2.0 donated together with the Norwegian government 10 million worth, that means 157 solar panels and few inverters and many other accessories to the Hrncet premises and implemented fully one working model at the Hrncet premises once. This floating solar, the first outcome of this floating solar project is it has demonstrated, for example, Public Utility Commission of Sri Lanka, which is a major organization, approved the decisions and the policies. Also, the school children, many school children, some of them have been listed here. Then again, Asian Development Bank directors like Professor Priyanta Vijayatunga and Dr. Gamini. Those are the lead people from Sri Lanka and Asian Development Bank. Then Lanka Electric Company, the senior engineers. Then Sustainability Authority, Director General or Deputy Director General, as well as the Chairman and Ceylon Electricity Board, many people. We have demonstrated almost all the people who are taking the decision and policy making in this country. So still we are continuing on doing that. So you can see the Ceylon Electricity Board long-term generation plan, which is like a code of plan which will implement it. For example, the 100 megawatts wind park in Mannar, which was in the CV long-term plan, saying that it will be implemented in 2019, but however, we implemented in 2021 May and it was open. So similar way, this Ceylon Electricity Board is long-term generation plan is one of the decisions made by 30 engineers, very well planned and finally listed here. So where it's this block colored by blue outline is taken from the Ceylon Electricity Board long-term plan, where the University of Jaffna Hrncet premises floating solar is being mentioned there as one of the decision making. It has to be enhanced further into this country as they have very well understood through this pilot project. And also, His Excellency President talked to the Dean Engineering and discussed about how it is viable for if we wanted to enlarge this floating solar to cover the policy in Sri Lanka. So you can see the Ceylon Electricity Board themselves has done the long-term plan and they have found that from 2020 onward that rapid clean energy development should be taken place covering wind and solar. So the green color is wind and the yellow color is solar. So this is the rapid development going to take place from now onwards. It's already planned, but however it took some time to develop. So here again you can see the floating solar, in the table last row. It mentions that they have already calculated, they have already found some places like Samanalaveva, Kambandotta, Tringomani, Punagiri. Those are the places where they are planning for the floating solar. And the last sentence, last paragraph says that in page number 213 of the CV long-term plan, saying that about 100 megawatt solar power plant will be implemented, including ground-mounted as well as floating. So this is the third outcome. So first outcome, we disseminate knowledge. Second outcome, we contributed to the long-term plan. Of course, as the last Monday discussion, they mentioned that we have not done enough, because basically we haven't done fast enough, because we suppose to implement a couple of floating solar power plant at the moment, but we have gone up to only the plan, and the plan will be taking place very soon. But why they say not enough, we did enough, we don't have today energy crisis. So that was the delay of the policymakers and the decision makers in the upper side. So this shows how the outcome 3, this shows how we generate electricity. Generation of electricity means we are generating money to the university. So we are generating almost like 5,500 units per year. Next. So this is in black and white in number. We very transparent. We are generating this much of electricity. So we are generating that much of money. Fortunately, with our Vice Chancellor leadership, he has approved in the Finance Committee whatever we generate, about 70% will be allocated for research and development and further enhancement of this project. So whenever we generate with the CV general purpose tariff, which is about 14.55 rupees per unit, which comes to about 0.67 million will be allocated for the research and development and future enhancement of this project with the help of the Vice Chancellor. So basically that means this much of money, almost like about 0.9 million money is being reduced from the electricity bill. So that's a saving. But however, in terms of financial administrator with the Versar and other people, we have to transfer the pre-education money to this wherever the money is saved due to the floating solar into the university account. So that is coming through the Vice Chancellor's approval with the Finance Committee, where they say that about 0.67 million will be allocated for this purpose. So the next outcome, the fourth outcome is we have initiated a lot of researches on that. Where the University of Jaffna, Faculty of Engineering, Faculty of Science has already going ahead of the research on this one, as well as we also got Faculty of Engineering from University of Bergen and Faculty of Engineering from University of Morocco. They all came and visited and see the places, and they are asking for the data. They are starting the research program from their side as well. And also Western Norway, Norway University of Applied Sciences. There are 2 students came together with you all, so they are going to continue with us. And one person is already started more in that one. So these are the comments. So with that message, I think next. So with that message, I thank you all, and thank you for giving this great opportunity by implementing this floating solar to be the lead in this country from the University of Jaffna, implementing the first floating solar which all of you have. Thank you so much.
In search of the new direction, Professor took us into a new dimension, a new way to think, a new way to do research, and new way to perspective look. Thank you so much, sir.
It's hard to say that. Due to our prevailing situation, Professor Anita, who is Vice Rector, Western Norway University of Applied Sciences, also Director and Research Director at Bergen University College, and Head of Research at Western Norway Hospital Pharmacies, and Project Manager at Western Norway Regional Health Authority. Unfortunately, she is unable to be with us here today, but she has sent her thoughts and wishes as recordings. It's a pleasure to watch them.
Dear Honourable Ambassador, Her Excellency Trine Gjøranli Eskedal, Dear Vice Chancellor Professor Sri Satkunarayat, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I want to mention that I'm very sorry that I could not join the delegation to Sri Lanka and the University of Jaffna due to unavoidable circumstances. It is a great pleasure for me to attend this inaugural ceremony of the second NORPART project between the Western Norway University of Applied Sciences and the University of Jaffna. The extensive cooperation between the University of Jaffna and the Western Norway University of Applied Sciences has lasted for almost 6 years. The first MOU between our institutions was signed in 2017. Clean energy is the need of the hour, and both Norway and Sri Lanka are committed to the UN Sustainable Development Goals. As higher educational institutions, we are obliged to help our countries to become carbon neutral by 2050. Our joint educational and research activities will contribute positively to achieving this goal. The cooperation between our universities has generated many important results. An active research cooperation, cooperation on education, and extensive student exchange. We have had the privilege to have many students from the University of Jaffna at our Western Norway University of Applied Sciences, which we call HVL. These students have been contributing immensely to our research activities and the international environment here in Bergen. We, HVL, are also happy to contribute to the development of the first master and master philosophy programs in clean energy technologies in Sri Lanka. With our current energy crisis in the world, green energy transition is becoming more important than ever, and education on and research on new energy technologies are of utmost importance. Our research students and professors are working together in realizing cheap, flexible, and efficient energy technologies that will have a high impact in near future. It is great that we have succeeded in including the private sector in our collaboration, which has resulted in the first floating PV in Sri Lanka based on Norwegian technology. Through this new NORPART project, we will enhance our education and research collaboration, expand our collaborative network with partners, the University of Bergen, the University of Bergen, the NIFS, and the private sectors in Norway and Sri Lanka. Dear all, we have had several delegations under our collaborative projects in the last 5 years, and we were always received with great hospitality by you, and we always feel welcome in your beautiful country. I and the Western Norway University of Applied Sciences would like to thank the University of Jaffna for our close cooperation over the past years, and look forward to working with all our partners in the next 5 years. We would like to thank the Norwegian Embassy in Colombo for your valuable moral and financial support. Finally, we would like to thank the Directorate for Higher Education and Competence for financing a second project period. Thank you.
And next, the professor, who is the molecular biologist and works on understanding the pathological link between the genetics and development of diabetes. Also involved in teaching pathology and their steps to motivate students to understand the association between the cause and diseases development of various forms of diseases, treatment and prognosis. She engaged the bachelor, master and the PhD students in interdisciplinary research projects where the aim is to understand the effects of gene damage for the development of inherited forms of diabetes, or the effects of biomarkers on performance. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together to Professor Lisa Hrncet, Vice Dean of Faculty of Engineering and Sciences at University of Norway, University of Applied Sciences, to address the gathering.
Dear esteemed Chancellor, Deans, Professors and audience, thank you so much for the very nice introduction. Now, As Vice Dean for Research at the Faculty of Engineering and Science at the Western Norway University of Applied Sciences, I would like to extend my biggest congratulations to the University of Jaffna and our own institution for the extension of this most important collaboration between our institutions. Now, regarding the Western Norway University of Applied Sciences, renewable technology is a very prioritized area at our institution. Clean energy by solar technology is highlighted as one of the areas where our activity is the highest. With that said, our institution is also very focused on internationalization. That's very important for our institution in order to facilitate the exchange of students across borders and knowledge. So I would like to say that this collaboration between the University of Jaffna and our HVL, in short, exemplifies the values that our institution aims to stand for. So, a very short note from mine. I would also like to extend my thanks to the very hospitality of Sri Lanka, and I'm very pleased for the next section of signing this very important agreement. Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam. That was divine. Next, I would like to call upon the person who certified the words that with great power comes from responsibility. It's time for Professor Hrncet, Pro-Dean of Research and Innovation, University of Bergen.
Welcome. Vice Chancellor, prominent guests in the panel. Yes, I'm a very tall person, sorry about this. And all the audience, let me first thank you for a very nice welcome here today. I can share with you that I came here 4 years ago, in 2018, and I was told that I would be part of opening of an energy lab. What they did not tell me was that it was some kind of world record in the newest energy lab being opened ever. Because I think Diane and probably some of you in the audience worked up until like 4, 5 in the morning to have everything ready and finish the floor and stuff. And then the other guests came in at 10 o'clock in the morning, everything was ready, they didn't know that this lab was the newest lab ever being opened. So I like that a lot, Diane, so I'm very happy. And also last time I came here, I remember well, we had a really nice welcome with some dancers. They were quite a lot younger than we have today. But I remember it well, it was outside and these young girls danced for us, it was magnificent. And then I participated in my first ceremony of the lighting of the oil lamp, and also felt that was a very good memory. Then 2 years ago I was also briefly back in Jaffna because we then attended this opening of the solar plant in Kilinochi, and I also have a lot of good memories from this experience. So it's a pleasure to be here among so many of the people who have made this collaboration possible, and it has been a new project period coming, so it's very good to come here and participate in opening of the new project period. So I'm very grateful to all of you who have contributed to this, and I should say in particular to the Vice Dean, who later will sign an MOU that confirms the collaboration between the University of Bergen and the University of Jaffna. I'm also very grateful to the Norwegian Embassy, who I think has been instrumental in supporting the building of this project and also then the building of the collaboration. And of course I need to thank my very good colleague from HVL, Professor Diane, And I think we all know that this hadn't happened without you, Diana. You were the one that really carried both the building of collaboration and the project. So yeah, I can really go on to Diana. So as I say, from the University of Bergen's part, we are very happy to be part of this project. Our university have three main focal research areas, and they are marine research, and then it's climate and energy transition, and then it's global challenges. And you can understand that this collaboration and this project fits very well with the goals of the University of Bergen. And I can say from my faculty, the faculty of Mathematics and Natural Sciences, we have a very special emphasis on working in energy transition. So our rector, Margaret Hagen, she has already signed the MOU from the University of Bergen's part, and she sends her greeting to all the project participants. And she hopes that this will further the collaboration both within research and education between our institutions. Vartuhel Nandri. Thank you.
That was great to hear from you, sir. The stage itself is calling our Professor Sri Satkuraja, Vice Chancellor, University of Jaffna, for addressing the audience out of curiosity.
Let me pay my respectful obeisance to Almighty. 500 years ago, the saint, a very famous saint in this part of the world, Manikavasa, sang a song, Pudangal Torun Nindayana, Pokalan Varavilan and Ninakulavu, Kidangal Padal Adavaralla, Tertariyu, Kandarivar. So energy is embedded in these 5 elements. That's Hawkins' big plan. Space, air, fire, water, and the soil. It's somebody's hand. This energy is formless, but it can be realized in many ways. There's another seminar going on the other side of the faculty. I inaugurated 8:30. It's a conservation of things in wildlife and other biological entities. So only thing we know very well, we don't know any other things. This energy is conserved. So transformational energy is the business. As the science advances, engineering advances. Engineering advances, technology advances. And we have all 3 faculties in our university. By chance, of course, I'm a mathematician. So I've been feeding all these people in their skills about handling, because mathematics is the language of science. Somehow or other we have to quantify the digitalized world. So in this realm of activities, and also it's a perpetuum. When the technology advances, science advances. That's what Radharan says, state-of-art laboratories being built. There's a technology. So technology advances, science advances. When science advances, engineering advances. It's a perpetual cycle of things. So today, many brains are better than one brain. So in those days, Einstein may be working, Feynman may be working, and Nuremberg may be working, but today we have a collaborative research environment. So scientists working with other scientists, engineers now decorating a table. Then another nanotechnology people are standing on the table, Vice Dean is there, and another mathematical natural science Dean is there. So this kind of environment is a modern thinking, not thinking, because as a scientist, we are evolving with this existence. Actually now we are capturing the nature. Because now our fossil fuel and everything is running out. Even what happened in Ukraine and Russia is causing a lot of problems in Europe. So actually this embedded energy in this solar and other aspects should be utilized. So now because of we are getting the optimization. Because we almost saturated even that scale, that understanding. Okay, 80% efficiency, 20% efficiency, stability is the problem. But we'll have a problem in the 2050, no energy from the conventional sectors. So even for our survival, we may go back to our basics. Where is solar business going to thrive? Even whoever going to deliver these tools, going to be rich again, like our Pfizer is doing well with these jabs. They become multi-millionaires because of this virus. They found this vaccine, and because these people are thriving. Similarly, this clean energy, I know we have reservation. Even nanotechnology, people are saying it has not delivered yet. In even our amateur conference, Geeti said it's yet to deliver. But when you go to our history of science, even the transistors came existent in the 1950s. Now it has delivered to the maximum within another 30-40 years. I think University of Bergen also originated, I checked, in 1947. So this university is now delivering to us this collaboration. I think the Norway, I will read out from message, I can go on like this. The people of Norway and the government of Norway have long-standing fruitful relations with the people of Sri Lanka. Not with NORPART project alone, higher education. Because Norway extended big help in the fisheries sector for us to thrive. The CNOR project is one of the big projects in Jaffna, where the fishermen, gears, all being built with the Norway's technology. They came here, it still is running. Even after the war, the revival of our Jaffna, this CNOR, the ice factories and preservation of fish and transporting, they are helping. So fishery sector, one of the traditional sector of Norway also. Then the petroleum came. I think I studied in Scotland. Only the North Sea was separating Norway and Scotland. And you both were digging, exploring oil from this North Sea. And then the Norway have invested in energy, education. A lot of migrants come, and you have 5 million of people. We have 20 million of people. And I tell you, 2 of our babies, decorating on this side and that side, are born in the very adversity environment. That one migrated to Norway when the 1983 riots came. Then he was an engineering student in the Moratua. He was forced to leave. Then he ended up with another glorified place. Today he is delivering back to the nation. At this they are. That is actually, so he born out of the adversity. Similarly, this man, another coordinator from our side, he came to university in 1990 where there is no electricity. Not today. Even there was an embargo on the LTT government, and this guy was not, we were not having a grid electricity. We were running again kerosene lamps and running some 2 hours generator to generate electricity. Today he is talking about renewable energy. It's very appropriate. So actually, even Albert Einstein, he was running away from Germany for his life, delivered these nuclear formulas and this electromagnetic relativity theory. E is equal to mc squared. Now the nuclear energy feeding the Europe and some of the big countries. So actually scientific discovery of one day may give you actually we are reaping the fruits of what we have done for a long time ago. Similarly, what you do here actually is something for the human advancement for the future. For our grandson and daughters we are doing. We may not be delivering immediately the fruits, but we have to wait because in the COVID time, I was eating mangoes in my home. That was planted 100 years ago by somebody. So I was sitting there and eating. So today I really want to thank our current solar, the company, and actually Norwegian government support. Of course, those companies gave free installment of this floating panel in the Arviyanar campus. Arviyanar campus is actually originated by LTD, and we occupy this now because somebody originated, but that area was done by them. Even that pond was a man-made pond. We had to acknowledge this. It's a man-made pond. They did it. Now we are generating electricity for engineering faculty. I see former engineering faculty dean Atwaraya, he actually great contribution to the faculty development. Today our engineering dean Prabha is here, and electrical department people are all trained. I think our Thiruvaran is trained in UNSW, where I spent my sabbatical, where they have a separate section for photovoltaic department. So Australians are doing very well in the solar energy thing because their country is the hottest country in the world. They go to 40 degrees in the summertime, the thing. And also now I want to say the University of Jaffna, we are now leaping our university. We were suffered 30 years of unsettled condition in this place. So in the 2010 onwards, we are reviving. So in the revival, now we have established UBL. And our director is here, Dr. Iswaran Mohan. Our UBL is University Business Link. Here one who spoke, Dr. Island, is a part of the one is here. Now we are driving for the prototype models and go to business, commercialization. This is the only way for Jaffna and Tamils for survival, because we had mobilized, and Dr. Vignaru went there, and Velayamuthi there. There's another people working on the sodium batteries kind of thing. So these kind of thing actually will help us to enhance. Today, University of Bergen and the Western University, I always Western mean Western Sydney University, no, Western Norway University of Applied Sciences. Actually, we want to thank you because I know Norway has been with us, the people of Sri Lanka, for a long time. And also every household in Tamil community knows about Erik Solheim. He's a peace broker. Even Norway is very famous for peace broking along the world. Even IR, I think they did so many peace conflict. There is a conflict resolving Norway now. As it's a model country. One of the Scandinavian country actually helped us. And also in the biotechnology, a lot of collaboration we had at Uppsala University in Sweden. So, and this kind of collaboration actually helped us to have one of the best chemistry biotechnology division in this. The former Vice Chancellor was that lady involved in this. So I have been here last 40 years. I am witnessing so many things. Today, one of the most glorified day. I can see this is a celebration like a mini Olympics, because you see 5 years project, then you are going to another 5-6 years. It's a 1 decade of activities. 1 decade of activities really will bring fruitful things. That's what our Dayalan also said this, Professor. He has been the first important thing for anything is the resource development, human resource development. Without human resource development, you can't borrow. Other things you can borrow. So that was the master program and the doctorate program and all other programs will deliver the important aspects of the C aspects of the another level. Then the engineering comes, then the technology comes. So we will be thriving. So wholeheartedly I want to thank all the Norwegian Bergen people and the Western Norway University people and the student welfare. And also, as Professor Dayalan said, traveling from Norway to Colombo, Colombo to Mannar, Mannar to Jaffna, Jaffna to Killachi, Killachi to Mullathievu, Mullathievu to Colombo, and coming back to Norway. It's like another world, this exploration, this kind of stuff. I think you have the stamina. I witnessed a lot of people from Norway. They are good at country skiing and country walking and kind of stamina stuff. Norway get so many Olympic medals. Even recently, a lady cross-country work she did. So that is the Norway. So you have a stamina and you have a very good commitment to the world. And thank you very much for choosing our Jaffna and also Dayalan masterminding, because you trust Dayalan, because he delivered our best product from this country, came there. And he proved himself, a track record, as one of the most outstanding. Then you trusted him, and he loved us, so he returned to us, and you actually associated with him and been delivering. Our new generation of academic staff actually wonderfully cooperating. As administration of the former Vice Chancellor we did, and we also going to do. So we thank the government of Sri Lanka also, granting permission for this very fruitful relationship to being thriving. Without their approvals and assistance, we can't do that. So I think that part also we thank, and I really want to pray and actually that you have a sweet feeling here and also safe return journey. And now I don't want to say what's happening in Sri Lanka now. In adversity, people thrive. Some new invention come. Actually, the necessity is the mother of invention. So today problem also will help us, this project, to be readily accepted and to get into another level, because the demand of the time actually endorse this kind of development. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for patient listening. Thank you.
Thank you for your wisdom, sir. Now it's time to honor our delegates with trophies, which is resembled this unmemorable event. I would like to invite our Vice Chancellor, Professor Sri Sankaraja, to give the trophies to our delegates. First, I would like to call upon Professor Dylan Velaida Pillai, Coordinator, to receive the trophy. Next, I would like to call upon Hrncet to receive the trophy. Next, I call upon Professor Lee Bjarge Gundersen to receive the memorandum. Next, I would like to call upon Catherine Armstrong. Next, I would like to call upon Maria Helena Mayer Dow to receive the memorandum.
And a new MOU between University of Bergen and University of Jaffna. A new MOU between University of Bergen and University of Jaffna.
it's my time to propose the vote of thanks. First of all, I would like to thank the delegates, so both from the HPL and also University of Bergen, for their time, and also they have been traveling around this country and during this very uncertain condition. And I really appreciate your presence here. And then we have been actually collaborating more than 5 years with the HPL, and then now we are going to collaborate with the University of Bergen. I think we will have a fruitful collaborations. I thank you all. And next, I would like to thank our Vice Chancellor. Despite of his busy schedules, actually he always with us to help the project going on, because he always actually insisted to produce high quality research publications, and he has been instrumental in that, and then trying to actually uplift the university to a higher level. So if our university want to go to the high level, and then we should actually have several MOU signs, and also these new research should be done, and then so there are several things actually has been going on. Thank you very much, sir, for your presence. And I would like to thank the deans of the faculties and also heads of the department. And more than that, I should especially thank Mr. Thliban, who actually designed this newsletter. Diligently, we can actually go through that. Because of these paper issues, actually, we couldn't actually deliver several copies, but we can actually email you the copies of that, because currently, the Sri Lanka has some paper issues. And I should thank Dr. Yogi Swedersini and also Mr. Rajaramanan for making these video clips. And last, I should actually thank all of my research students. You know that 5 of the research students actually now at Norway. So that's what actually, because here few students, and then they were overloaded to arrange this, and I should actually thank you all the staff and also the students who worked hard for this during these few days. And I should thank the VC Media unit, Mr. Saravanan, Mr. Arul Kumaran, and also Mr. Thliban, and also Chitrangan and other people, and for their media coverage. I hope we will actually get that nice video clips and also the photos. So, thank you very much to you all for your kind presence. Today actually is an auspicious day, because so most of the people actually went for the wedding, so it's a wedding day. So in anticipation of that, actually, people actually attended, and then thank you for your presence and witness. Now, so there are some posters actually you can actually view, and also so there will be a short visit to our clean energy research laboratory. So then after that, actually we invite you all for a lunch at the North Gate Jet Wing. So thank you very much.
Lastly, we wind up this event. Join us for the lunch at the Gateway North Gate.